Just promise me that you're not gonna take this verse out of context if I share with you this ancient biblical truth. You guys with me? Promise me you're not gonna use this to be less like Christ, you're gonna use it to be more like Christ. Okay? Because if you miss the context of this, you miss the whole thing. John chapter 2, the very end. I bet you most of you guys never read this verse. Listen, Jesus' ministry is taken off. It says he's doing miracles, everybody's running to him. I mean, he's not denying that he's the Messiah, he's the man. And everybody's like, this is what we've been waiting for. And it says his ministry's blowing up. Verse 23, because of the miraculous signs that Jesus did in Jerusalem at the Passover celebration, many began, watch this, to trust in him. But Jesus didn't trust them. Jesus didn't trust them. Okay, some of you are like, that's exactly the verse I needed. I can just come to church by myself. I can just talk to nobody here. I can just go to church online. We love you. We're glad you're watching. I can just never open my heart to someone again because clearly Jesus also didn't trust people. I'll never get hurt again if I never open my heart again. Just be honest with yourself today. Is that some of the reason why you're alone? Is that some of the reason why you don't have thriving, healthy relationships? Is that some of the reason why you're not mentoring or helping somebody else in their journey because you got burned by the person who was mentoring you? Can we have church today? Is that some of the reason why you're not involved at church or you're not participating in the community life? Is it because it's too dangerous for you because you've trusted people before and now you have commitment issues? The last people in the world who should have commitment issues are people who've been saved by the grace of Jesus because his commitment to us is so unfailing and radical that even when we're faithless, come on, he is faithful to us. What Jesus is saying here is he's saying that he didn't trust them because watch this. He knew all about people and no one needed to tell him about human nature, for he knew what was in each person's heart. All it's saying there is that Jesus didn't have unrealistic expectations on people. That's all it's saying. He's saying they're throwing themselves at him, but he was there to serve them. So he didn't need to have expectations on them that they would serve him. Are you with me? Some of you are expecting everything to be a two-way street in your life. God has put you in people's lives to serve them. Not all of that's gonna be reciprocated. Sometimes you just gotta get up and serve somebody. Sometimes you just gotta love people, no strings attached. Sometimes you just gotta have friends, not because of what they bring to the table, but because you know God has brought you to their table. I made that up right now, that sounded dope. Somebody write that down. I have another service I gotta share that. What was it? That sounded so good. That's going online. Okay. What am I saying here? I'm saying Jesus has this realistic expectations. I think some of us have higher expectations on church people than Jesus has on church people.
Yeah, come on. That's good.
He keeps forgiving us. He keeps giving us second chances, third chances. Some of you guys are on your sixth chance. Anybody like been forgiven more times than you can count? Like, you know why Jesus is the king of overcoming betrayal? Because all of us have been betraying him since we met him. We're still betraying him. I mean, that's why we love him. Because he just keeps putting up with us. And he keeps forgiving us. And I love 1 Corinthians 13 that says, love keeps no records of wrongs, right? He's not throwing it back in our face. I forgive, but I don't forget. I'm so glad Jesus does. Anybody else? Number one, don't make a permanent decision during a storm. You don't want to suffer consequences of an emotional reaction. Have self-control. It's a fruit of the Spirit. Just be like Jesus.